Hello everyone, it's Eddie the Chump coming back with another video, and what's this? Halo 4! It's Thursday today, Halo 4 came out Tuesday. Yeah, I've got to say, this is my background with Halo. I loved Halo 3, but it was when I first got an Xbox, and then COD 4 came out and Gears came out, and I played them more than Halo 3. I didn't have an original Xbox, so I wasn't gaming at that time, so I didn't get into Halo 1 or 2. So Halo for me is kind of an unusual game, because although I love shooters, Halo is probably the most popular one that I've played the least out of all of them. And if I'm totally honest, I really disliked Reach. I found it, I don't know, I found it boring actually. I found it boring and, what's the word? Pedestrian. I found the pace really slow. You know, some of the criticisms that are levelled at the original Black Ops I think are more true of Reach, and from what I can tell, the friends of mine that really are Halo fans didn't really like Reach that much because of armor abilities, and especially armor lock. You know, I don't know whether that's actually a big deal or not, but all my friends complained about it. But back to this game. I've waited a couple of days to get this video out there to talk about it because I'm just so impressed with it. I've got to be honest. I'm so impressed with this game. My criticisms of Halo before were it felt cartoony and it felt lightweight. In terms of the tone, like it didn't feel. I don't know, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel, the weapons didn't sound right. I don't like laser beam weapons too much. I like mechanical sounds of guns and things like that. And I find that more satisfying from games like COD and Blacklight and stuff like that. But this game, the sound design and the redesign of all the weapons, of all the sound, is amazing, and I'm totally blown away. But I actually can't tell you how good a game I think this is. This is my new favourite game, and that's despite not being great at it. I've got a positive KD, you know, I've played shooters enough to be able to hit to point and shoot. But that's actually part of what I want to talk about, the way in which Halo is different to other games and what it's like to be, you know, I talked about the beginner's mind before, where you go back to being not very good at something and then you have to learn like a completely different skill set. And what I've come to realise is the reason why Halo has never clicked for me before is down to one thing. If you watch my COD gameplay, I'm an incessant aim down sight person, right? So Stalker in Modern Warfare 3 was just a dream for me, you know, for someone like me to just be able to aim down sight and walk around corners. You know, that's a big thing for me. And you know, Modern Warfare 3 is my highest KD Call of Duty by quite a long way for that particular reason. I aim down sight all the time, and it's just part of how I understand shooters. Now, Halo is on console, but it plays a lot more like a PC shooter because a lot of the skill of Halo is how I get an assist for that as well. There's one thing about this game, I don't have a very good connection, as those of you know, because I put on my stats like a 1 up, and usually there's 3 people playing it, so it's a 0.33 up basically. I get a lot of assists when I should get the kill, and I think that's another thing I want to talk about later. But back to Halo being like a PC shooter. Halo's like a PC shooter because a lot of its skill is based from the hip, with the reticle that's on screen and aiming for the head from the hip, much like Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike's really like that. There is no aim down sight in Counter-Strike. You do go into the zoom in Halo, but whenever I do that, I find it really unwieldy. It's kind of like every gun has an ACOG scope from COD on it, and I don't really like it. Like I'd be much more comfortable with iron sights, but there is no aim down sight in Halo. So that's the way it's like a PC shooter, and that's why I think before I'd not really suited the game style. Like, it's very different. There's not so much evasion in Halo. In COD, you've got the drop shot, you've got loads of ways to get yourself out of a gunfight that you're losing. And the thing about Halo 4 is that against good players, running away ain't gonna do shit, because they'll just pop you in the back of the head like it ain't no thing. And I have to get used to that. I have to get used to evading is much more difficult in Halo, firing from the hip and using the reticle properly, and all that kind of stuff. And that's the skill of Halo. So my skill set traditionally has been quick reactions, like first to get the first shot in. It's that way in COD. Like quick initial accuracy, but maybe my shot wavers a little bit because I expect them to be dead. Whereas Halo requires, because of the amount of health characters have, it requires long-term high accuracy. So it's a precision shooter. Precision? There you go. I can say it finally. Precision shooter. Whereas COD is a twitch shooter. And I'm learning to get used to this kind of shooter and actually like the different challenge that comes from playing it, because it is just so different to COD. I mean, I don't know how this guy doesn't die, and then apparently my melee doesn't. The one thing about this game, the melee, from what I can tell, he doesn't even melee me there. Yeah, anyway, I was annoyed when I died, then, as you could probably imagine. So yeah, back to the difference. Obviously, from what I've heard, like, a 2.0 KD in Halo is exceptional, from what I've heard. Now, you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but it's not like COD. You don't see people having 3s and 2s. You know, a 1.4 is considered a good player, and that's about what I'm at the moment. So that's kind of cool. You know, I haven't really played it that much. I know I'm going to get better over time, and I'm really enjoying it. That's all I can say. I just think this game's great. I think what they've taken from other games, you know, Halo was the benchmark for a long time in terms of how much innovation they brought to console shooting. And what 343 have done is they've taken a lesson out of other people's books, and they've taken the best and most useful parts from other shooters and incorporated that into Halo. Now that, from what I gather, is a little bit controversial. Some Halo fanboys are a little bit upset about that. But I think it's a good thing. The addition of hit markers, yeah, what have they brought in? Hit markers, kill cams, loadouts, all that kind of stuff. I think it's made it really, really good. If you're not a fan of Halo and you're a fan of COD, give it a go. And I'm a COD fanboy, right? I am a serious COD fanboy, and I love this game. It doesn't play like COD, it plays like Halo, but there's enough to satisfy you. The guns feel great. You know, there's enough for you to get your teeth into if you prefer sort of like a faster paced shooter. This Halo is definitely faster paced than Reach, and all the primary weapons are useful. I don't know, I feel like there's a couple of things I haven't got to, but that's my first video about Halo 4. I'm loving it. Go out and get it as soon as possible. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, please like and subscribe. Go to my channel, check it out, help it grow. Cheers.